Hello, what's going on, guys? Hockey Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of Ant-Man. So, Ant-Man is directed by Peyton Reed and stars Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Corey Stoll, Michael Douglas, and Michael Pena. So, the story is about Scott Lang, who steals the Ant-Man suit, and then he is chosen to be the next Ant-Man by Hank Pym and breaks him out of prison to try to stop this Darren Cross, who wants to change the world with this new Yellow Jacket technology that he got from Hank Pym, and it's up to Scott Lang to learn how this Ant-Man tech and stop him. So the story was done very well to me. I like how it introduces Ant-Man. I like the origin story to Scott Lang, and I like how coherent it is throughout and easy to follow, and very well paced as well. It's done very well in it's about every way, to be honest. And each act is done very well and progresses the story perfectly, and it could have been done much better, to be honest. Hank Pym might actually be my favorite character in this movie. I hate the way he is as a mentor character is done very well. And not just as a mentor character, actually, it's like character in general. His tragic backstory of how his wife ended up getting lost in the quantum realm is done very well. Well, it's very sad to get you to like this character very well, and Hank Pym as well. His mentor character and teaching Scott Lang all this thing is done perfectly. He might actually be one of my favorite mentor characters in the MCU. I don't think he's the best one by any means, but he's one of the best. The action scenes are very epic, especially the climax, like how Scott and Darren were shrinking and fighting each other on Scott's daughter's train set. That was a very interesting climax, and it's done perfectly. And I liked it more. It was really intense, and there were plenty of stakes at it, and it was a perfect action scene for this film, and it's really fun. Ant-Man's costume design is actually done pretty well to me. I mean, it's nothing like the comic book costume. I still prefer that, but it's still done pretty well. I like this new design for it. It looks really good on screen. To be honest, the comic book costume probably would have looked a bit silly on screen, but I still would prefer it. But this is still a great costume, and I'm glad the costume designers did this. The visual effects are just impressive. There's nothing else less to say about it. They're just really impressive. Like the way that they show them shrinking down to size with camera tricks and CGI is done perfectly, and it looks very realistic, to be honest. They look very convincing that it's done real, but it's just perfect CGI for it, as well as about how any explosion that happens is pretty good, as well as when Yellow Jacket kind of uses his little power thing. That was a really good visual effects, as all the ants look pretty good, but as they're all pretty much CGI, and I think they look pretty good. And I thought the CGI in this film was very impressive. The way Paul Rudd portrays Ant-Man is just perfect. His acting performance in this was just amazing. I think I honestly don't know if I can imagine anyone else other than him being Ant-Man. I know I said that just about every other character, but I'm being serious whenever I say stuff like that. Like, Paul Rudd just did fantastic. I mean, the emotion he shows and the way he portrays the character is just perfect in every way, and I don't think any other actor could have done it better in this role, to be honest. All the other actors, like Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas especially, did great, and Corey Stoll as well as Michael Pena, they all also did great and with their characters, and I definitely think Michael Douglas was the best one, like I said, and they all did a great job in their respective roles and had doing what they had to do, and I'm glad. With that said, there are a few negatives with this movie. Like, I feel like the jokes are pretty hit or miss. Like, there's some that are pretty good. Like the joke that Lewis's character did where he just kind of tells the story into it. I mean, that worked this time in Ant-Man the Wasp. That just got it wasn't really funny in that film. But here is the first time that was pretty funny. But there are some other jokes like the Anthony thing, like, and a bunch of other ant puns. Like, that was just an awful ant pun, and there's most of the shrinking and getting bigger jokes in this film just didn't really hit. And just the jokes are pretty in the middle, to be honest. Darren Cross slash Yellow Jacket as a villain was just terrible. I mean, it's another trend, MCU villains being bad. And it's rare to see one being great, especially in the older days. I mean, as a villain here, he's not really anything special. I mean, his motivation is just kind of just he was let down from Hank Pym and didn't really agree with any of his decisions, so he just wants to change the world, which is kind of done in Ironmonger. Like, it's kind of similar to him. I mean, I don't think it's exactly like, but because I honestly think he's a bit worse than Ironmonger. But he's just, it's just his motivation is just very weak. Nothing else to say about his character, and as a villain, he's not really very intimidating. Like, it doesn't really do that much intimidating things until the climax, and doesn't really do much until the climax. So the Yellow Jacket suit is, I mean, it's not necessarily awful. I mean, but it's a pretty bad costume. I mean, I don't really like the design of this one. Like, I can see where they were going with the design, but I wasn't really too big of a fan of the design. I mean, kind of just the titanium design just doesn't really work for me, and it's just it just doesn't look that good on screen. And I think they did a much better job with Ant-Man's costume for sure. So overall, Ant-Man is a pretty great movie, and I'm gonna give Ant-Man an 8 out of 10. That was my review of Ant-Man. What are your thoughts on Ant-Man? Tell me in the comments below. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.